and independent will. Frankel could envision himself. He could see himself in a whole different situation. A company can envision its future. That's why they say the essence of leadership is vision and the ability to create a culture around that vision so that there's commitment toward that vision that is common, so that everyone exercises collectively their imagination. Even though they have this awareness of the swamp-like culture they're in now, they're aware, see, self-aware. They stand apart and can examine. We live out of our memory. We're tied to the past and to that which is finite. When we live out of our imagination, we're tied to that which is infinite. It's unbelievable potentiality because we barely scratched what is inside of us. And then independent will. We can act on that imagination. We can act on that conscience. The universal conscience. The universal conscience of all mankind. And we can act upon it. We could swim upstream. We could go against the current. You need all four human endowments to optimize. Self-awareness is not sufficient. In my opinion, it's focused on too much. The constant exploration of one's past and the psychic and social scarring that took place. Not that it is not helpful and useful. I think it is. But it is not sufficient. It gets imbalanced if you don't use your imagination to create something new, to find a new meaning, a new value, a new future, and to independently exercise your willpower to move toward it. But imagination is insufficient. Hitler was an imaginative person, but he had no conscience. He was very value-driven, but the values were not based on principles. It's self-awareness, plus imagination, plus conscience, plus independent will. The key is to take time to pause in that space, to tap into those human endowments. Self-awareness, imagination, conscience, and independent will. Then begin to act. Small, slow ways. Tell a person's proactive or reactive nature by listening to their language. It's kind of a fingerprint of where the locus of control is, whether it's inside or outside. Really. I can't do this. I have to do this. I had a student one time. Would you excuse me from class? I have to go on a tennis trip. I said, what? And we just finished talking about how the language of the proactive person is, I choose to, I prefer to, yes, no, I will. The language of the reactive person, I have to, I must, if only, I can't, I haven't time, I'm low man on the totem pole, look what's above me, the people who need this aren't here, or if they are here, they're not getting it. I was going through all of that. He said, excuse me from class, next week I have to go on a tennis trip. He said, what? I have to go on the tennis trip. You what? I have to go. You have to go? You have to go? Oh, yeah. What will happen if you don't go? They'll kick me off the team. Seems like a natural consequence to me. You don't go on the trip. You can't be on the team. What will happen if you don't come to my class? I don't know. What's the natural consequence of not coming to class? I don't know. I mean, think. What naturally will happen if you don't come to class? Well, I mean, you wouldn't kick me out, would you? That would be a social consequence. That's artificial. It's not natural. If you won't participate, you shouldn't be on the team. on a tennis team, that would be natural. What will naturally happen if you don't come to class? I guess I missed the learning. That's right. I know if it were me, I'd choose to go on the tennis trip. But never say you have to do anything. You have the power to choose. He meekly said, I choose to go on the tennis trip and miss my class. You're always working with an analysis of alternative consequences, and then you're making a choice about the actions. Remember, you can choose your actions, but you cannot choose the consequences. They're governed by natural laws or principles. You may be in some environments where they're governed by social values, social rules. Then you may have to make some tough decisions, either to become a change catalyst in some way or to seek elsewhere, particularly if you've done a lot of sharpening the saw professionally, personally, and have all kinds of options because you are not economically dependent. You're economically independent. That doesn't mean wealthy. That means you have the power to produce sufficient wealth for your needs and the needs of your family. Why? Because your skills are not obsolete. Think on it this way. Two circles. The larger outer circle you call the circle of concern. Things you're concerned about. Things you're worried about. But then there is an inner circle. It's very small. That are concerns you have influence over. Where do proactive people focus their energies? Which circle? The inner circle.